Okay, let's talk about mornings. Do you ever feel like yours is just a chaotic race against the clock? Well, today we're diving into a new app called Google Jitro. And the promise here is pretty huge, using AI to finally bring some order and focus to that all-important first hour of your day.
I mean, does this sound familiar? That alarm blares, and before you've even had a chance to really wake up, your brain is already in overdrive. You're thinking about traffic, your crazy schedule, all the things you have to get done. That feeling? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's that cortisol spike of total chaos.
And the difference is just night and day, really. On the left, you've got what's probably the reality for a lot of us, right? Hitting snooze a few too many times, scrambling between four different apps for weather and traffic and news, and just rushing out the door already feeling like you're playing catch up. But on the right, that's the Jitro promise, a single smart system that's built to put you ahead of the game from the get-go. So let's really get to the heart of this. We're calling it the morning alarm problem. And it sounds kind of simple, but when you look at it, the way most of us handle our mornings, it's almost like it's designed to fail. And here's why.
I bet these pain points feel pretty familiar. Waking up and immediately feeling behind schedule is just a terrible way to start. We're trying to piece everything together from a bunch of different apps. And think about it. Your alarm is just a clock. It's static. It has no clue that a surprise traffic jam or a freak snowstorm just completely wrecked your schedule. So you're forced to start your day reacting to chaos instead of proactively owning it.
And that right there, that's the exact chaos that Google Jitro is setting out to fix. It's being introduced as the elegant, all-in-one solution we've been waiting for.
Just think about this. A digital butler for the first couple hours of your day. That's really the best way to describe Jitro. It's this one unified AI-powered dashboard that connects everything, your calendar, your commute, even your smart home devices like the coffee maker. It's all about bringing it all together.
You know, this quote from a behavioral psychologist at Stanford just nails it. They say productivity isn't really about working harder or hustling more. It's about removing cognitive load. That's all the mental energy you waste just planning and organizing. Jitro basically outsources that whole planning job to AI so you can just focus on, doing the things. So how does this AI morning butler actually pull it off? How does it create that perfect, streamlined start to the day we all want? Let's break down how it actually works. It really comes down to these three simple but powerful steps. First, the wake up isn't just a set time. Jitro is checking traffic and weather for you while you're asleep. And it'll silently nudge your alarm a bit earlier if it needs to, so no more surprises. Then, instead of you doom scrolling through your phone, Gemini AI gives you a quick 2-minute audio briefing of what you need to know. And finally, my favorite part, the zero-click sync. As you're waking up, your house is already getting ready for you, the lights come on, the coffee starts brewing, it's seamless.
Okay, but handing over your entire morning routine to an app, well, that requires a lot of trust. So let's look beyond just the cool features and dig into its history and, more importantly, how it handles something as critical as your privacy.
See, this timeline shows that Jitro didn't just appear out of thin air. This whole thing actually started way back in 2024 when people found bits of code referencing Jitro, which is actually the check word for morning, inside the Google Clock app. Then it went through a beta phase before getting the full Gemini AI treatment. So this thing has been evolving for a while.
All right, now for the big one, privacy. What happens to all that sensitive data about your sleep, your schedule, your emails? Well, the key thing to know here is how the data is handled. Jitro uses something called Android's Private Compute Core. And what that means in simple terms is that all the really personal stuff, like your sleep and audio data, is processed right there on your phone. It never gets uploaded to the cloud or sent to Google's servers. So if all of this sounds like something you want to try, let's walk through how you can actually get Jitro on your phone and, maybe more importantly, how to do it safely. And I really need to stress this part. This is critical. Because the app is still rolling out and isn't available everywhere yet, the internet is absolutely flooded with fake versions that are packed with malware. You have got to be super careful about where you download this from. Okay, so here's the safe way to do it in 4 steps. First, go to a verified source, something like Get APK Files. Then, download the official verified APK. That's just the installation file for an Android app. From there, you'll need to follow the instructions to safely allow the installation. And once that's done, you just connect your Google accounts and boom, your AI butler is ready to go. So, I want to leave you with this question.
If you could just completely automate all the stress and the planning and the decision-making of that first hour, what would you actually do with all that reclaimed time? What would you do with that extra mental energy, that reclaimed focus? Because that, right there, is the real question Jitro is asking all of us.